Finally.
It's the Sweat Equity Podcast, I guess. Jesus.
Yeah.
I hope
finally. I thought there was a finally something.
It's 2
finally,
hours.
I took
in
a
the
shit or something.
I'm Eric Redinger, joined by David Weingarten, Jon Paul Labadie, and my beautiful wife is sitting over there behind the camera like an old lesbian with a weird haircut.
Why is she off camera again?
Because of the haircut.
Oh.
She's got the sound effects. Was that was Dave? That was pretty good.
We're without Lost
Wait,
Smith.
compare that, Nikki, to the actual sound effect. That was exactly on.
Are
Let's see if we
you?
can get
I don't
it.
know which graphic corresponds to that sad sound effect.
Eric, sorry.
Not that
No,
one.
this could take a while.
Yeah. Okay. Can you guys quit fucking around, please?
I found it.
Now, Dave, do it.
This is why we need law. This
Yeah.
is rule of law.
That
I
took
just came up with
5
that.
seconds.
I know, but you guys just do your own thing all the time. All of you.
It felt good
No,
for a
you're-
second.
I want you in charge here.
I am in charge. We're without Law Smith. He's getting a mammogram. I don't know. Our main guest is David Weingarten,
Hello.
back from the brink.
Yeah, man.
What do you
The
want?
Prince of Orlando.
Okay.
The jungles.
Before I get into all that, I need to do the FreshBooks ad read where you get 30 days free or something.
Wait,
Use
are
the
you-
offer code SWEAT, and that should be good.
Wait,
right?
so that was your endorsement for like a sponsor? Was it? Are they
That's
paying
it.
you for that endorsement?
Yeah,
It's not a solid.
He pays
endorsement.
them.
big money.
I want to hear with some feeling. Like,
No.
do you believe in this shit or no?
No, I don't think there should be any taxes at all. I think the federal government should be dissolved, and we should just live in
Okay.
small clans of like 14 to 18 people.
FreshBooks endorses that statement.
All right, Mr. Robot.
Dissolve the government. I
Settle
think
down,
it's
Mr.
their,
Robot.
it's their thing.
Anyway,
So, anyways, yes, we got Jon Paul Labadie,
Yeah.
owner, Tampaniac Pictures, for all of your video needs.
Yep. Fresh off the video tip.
Is
And-
he paying for that sponsorship?
No, I didn't
No.
pay for that one. Thank you.
Does it
Oh,
free?
these are all free. Do you want free spot? Do you want free
Not
ad
that's
read?
only
not
fair.
that kind of ad read.
Doctor?
No, thank you.
I can't tell if she wants me to or not.
I do not. That's what the side to side.
Okay. Should we even say that you're
Nick,
a
the
doctor?
sound effect bar, that would have been perfect. The fart, especially.
Yeah, if you could just communicate nothing but sound effects from here on out, that'd be great.
Kind of misogynistic. A tad misogynistic. Shut your mouth and you resort it to a soundboard only. It's your only contribution.
I know, but she's like a powerful woman, and she likes that sort of thing. She likes to be put down, right?
I do.
Okay. If you're gonna talk though, you do need to actually use the microphone.
What, is that a word? Damn it.
You got the nice one.
She does got the nice one.
So, Dave,
Yo.
should we talk about Mustash first before we talk about the incredible journey
Sure,
you
man.
went on?
This is your show. I'm along for the spiritual ride.
So, Mustash is your product coming out soon, and you actually should get one out. We are a video show. You can show it off.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
just off the bat,
It's tough to describe.
it's
but
like,
you can
what's a
describe
mustache?
You guys are. You have, I think, at least a couple of them.
I know.
On hand here.
I know.
Wait, we don't
bust
have
out
one?
yours. No, he's got one. Bust it out. Where's it at? We've been
I didn't
sitting here
see
for
it.
2 hours trying to figure out our camera, and we don't have our fucking props.
So, anyways, you guys have some. I did not bring mine with me.
I saw you showed me the new thing.
I have the new redesign for the cap. I can show you that piece.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the one we have. I use it to keep my diaphragm in.
See, it has multiple uses above and beyond the marijuana.
People are so confused
Capacity.
about this.
Okay.
I would first off be like, nobody's got mustaches.
I know.
So
Well, when Law refers to Dave on the podcast, he'll say, "Our friend with a mustache, Dave," and it just sounds like we're talking about our friend with a mustache.
So-
exactly.
So if my arms seem like they're getting tired, it's because I have to hold a mic for the first time in my podcasting life.
Ever.
I've never had to hold a mic.
Don't-
Stand up.
I know.
Usually you offer a nice convenience to the guest
I know.
or the
I
spouse or
know.
whomever and say, hey, you're not going to have to hold the mic for the duration
Still
of the
have
podcast.
no idea what's in this bag.
Not happening here. So if you open up that bag, we have a piece of the mustache. Do you have any tubes? The other.
Yeah.
Dave, This is going to be hard for you.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like I'm in an orgy and I'm ill-equipped to handle everything that's. All right.
Yes, I feel
Like
like
that.
I feel like that as well.
It's not like that.
There.
There we go. All right.
What about an explanation
So I
about?
didn't realize what I had.
Okay.
We were focusing on technical difficulties and not product capabilities.
Dave has a product.
All right. So
For smoking weed.
my product is the Mustash, right? So the Mustash is essentially a way to more responsibly and concisely carry around your weed. I'm not a big proponent of like a huge suitcase to carry around your weed. Am I allowed to be talking about weed on your podcast?
I don't know, actually. Yeah, it's fine, dude. It's
all right,
it's legal here.
Okay. Well, kind of, maybe. Anyways, so
You're living
Dave,
in a
I'm
place
giving you
where
about
it is
15 more seconds.
I have reciprocity, I guess. Anyways, so if you're carrying around weed and you don't feel like bringing a suitcase with enormous paraphernalia, and it's just for a guy, I don't have that kind of personal storage, right? So this is a way you could take like a joint or a blunt or even a one hitter and just carry that around in a tube, which is airtight, watertight, branded with Mustash. That goes into the bottom of my product, my Mustash receptacle, aka the Raleigh. This part being the Folly.
They're rhyming now.
The mortar and the pestle.
You can ash your mustache. You can ash your whatever you're using up here, or you could use ground weed to replenish. But essentially, you have a receptacle and a receptacle. You ash in this piece here, ash. You stash the remainder here.
That beeping sound is so fucking distracting.
I'm just wondering how long you're gonna let me hold this fucking microphone. Here,
you guys
take
won't let
it.
me market my product, man.
I
Sorry,
don't
man.
know. My head was just like wondering about how long I'm gonna hold this microphone for.
And all I hear is
I needed you, man. I needed you to just hold it for just a few more seconds. when you get
I was just
finished.
waiting for you to take it out of the bag.
Why
Anyway.
don't I hold your product right in front of the
Yes,
camera?
show people an up close version.
we're like professionals.
Well, this is a professional
So
I thought,
podcast. I mean,
Can we start this over?
no, fuck no.
Come on, man.
Mustache, no, it's all good. It's not out available yet, but
Ooh,
there we go. See, Nikki's got it under control. She worked for QVC for 14 years.
That was really good. Anyways, it is in the manufacturing stage right now, which is why I don't have the full packaging and everything to show. But essentially, it's a more convenient way to carry around your weed. If you have a cell phone in your pocket, I don't have a purse. Sometimes I don't have a backpack to carry all my weed shit. So I'll put a blunt in the tube and I'll reuse it by ashing in the receptacle. And it's just kind of, I don't know, it's a little bit.
I love the
Brilliant.
idea.
I used it in my car.
Yeah.
I mean, most cars don't have ashtrays in them anymore. So
Yeah. I
I
have
used it
the
in my car.
patented twirl to open technology. This is a patent pending. Everything's fully patented, trademarked, all that stuff. So.
Twirl to open.
Yeah. I don't have a blunt. I don't have a full ride to show you here. I don't have all my props in order, but be on the lookout for Mustache. This is a carrying case. I have perforated business cards where you can roll your own filter tips.
Those are the best business
Here.
cards ever made.
You wanna
Give me 2
demo
hands.
that?
You rip
That's
one
a great
side, I'll rip
idea.
the other one.
You want to demo it for me?
Well, I can't. We both only have one hand, so you gotta.
Yeah. Oh, it goes
I
back
can
to
Rip
that.
it.
So,
There you go.
And you got the
Perforate.
spliff right there.
And you can roll
Brilliant.
this up
I think it's brilliant.
into
it's
a
great
filter tip.
marketing for sure.
Because if
And-
you're smoking weed from a joint or a blunt without a filter tip, you're physically eating weed a lot of the time. So this is it's essential.
Well, this
For
is
the
like
experience.
6 business cards in one because every time they rip one off, you got a little. It says your Mustache brand right there. It's like
Hey,
another little business
giggity.
card.
Why don't you put that microphone down, Toots? You're messing with
Rubbing
I
it.
can hear it. Anyways, so the Mustache. Anything else we want to talk about with it?
No, I mean it's.
to...
I have a brand that I'm working on. I'm working on trying to get the product to manufacture the product. And to be honest with you, when you're making something that's plastic, that's the biggest hurdle because you go to high volume manufacturing, and it becomes expensive and.
Where are you
cumbersome.
getting this made at? The top piece, the ashtray.
I don't know. I mean, I'd love to say, hey, keep it in America, but might have to go a little overseas
China.
and get the best price point.
For sure.
Yeah.
You'd rather pay
For
1
more-
cent instead of 4.
No, it's not like that. It would be a lot more lopsided than that. But
He just wants
Hey.
someone in a sweatshop.
I'm sure
Could
Trump
be
will
making
apply
it.
some tariffs that'll make it
Mustache sweatshop.
less advantageous to buy it overseas.
So yeah, the thing that blew my mind with those was you're breaking down the price of the tube, and then the price of the tube was less than the price of the sticker that went on the tube.
Totally, yeah. I mean,
Think about that.
but they produce those tubes in such high volume.
Right.
They
I know, but
price
that's
point.
what's. I mean, that's kind of. I'm a bit of a manufacturing nerd,
Are you
so that's
really?
kind
I had no idea.
no, I'm just saying, like, it's weird that you can do that rather than print up little tiny stickers that just go on the side, and like, because the tube has utility, those stickers don't mean shit if they're not on the tube. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people that probably would like to talk to you just about how you had an idea, and then it came, into reality, and you got it made. There's a lot of steps in that process, like trademarks, getting the actual ashtray, all these dimensions like made, and all of that stuff. Like, I've always wondered, like, if you have an idea, what's the first step? Do I go out and get it trademarked first, or do I go out and get a working model, like try and put one together in a way, and then go and get it trademarked? Because I've always, I always have these ideas that I can't actually engineer myself. So, do I get that idea down on paper first?
You run it by your dentist so she can tell you it's a bad idea.
Oh, Nikki's referring to my bad idea. That actually,
People didn't know that dentists are fucking omniscious and know everything about every industry.
I had an
Run
idea.
it by
I had
your
the idea
dentist.
for the self-brushing
Toothbrush machine.
toothbrush
masher.
Shove it in your mouth and brush your teeth for you.
you-
They came out
So
with
you're
it.
concerned.
It's
You're curious about the process. The
yeah,
process.
the process.
I mean, any new product, a tangible product, and again, I have not done this product justice during this podcast on video.
You still can.
If
Justify it.
Well, hold on. I'll get there in a second. But essentially, you have to be able to design. You have to create a physical design. So there's 3D designers, CAD specialists that can take something if it's tangible, and they can create a prototype. Or they can at least create a drawing that can be the impetus for a prototype. So, or the inspiration. So once you like that, it's too close to impotence. Sometimes I say it, and I'm like, man, I don't know,
I'm walking the
plant
line
any
here.
My
seeds
dick
in my
works.
head.
Even though I said that.
So yeah, you you get your design, and then the design can spawn like a 3D printed prototype, and you can see whether the functionality or the aesthetics are on par with what you're looking for. And then from there, you can do like silicone molding and pressure casting and some like really low volume ways to replicate that product with plastics or other material. But then once you actually get it to where you need high volume, it goes to an injection molding process. And you create a mold, and then you determine where you want to inject into that mold and create the ultimate product.
When did you get it trademarked?
You apply through the U.S. Patent Office. The
In that
USPTO.
process, like when did you
At
do
any
that?
point in time, you can do it. The trademark is more for like your imagery that you use in your branding, the color schemes, that kind of stuff. So it's more of like your like imagery.
See, he's terrified of it getting stolen from him. So he's never. That's why he's not building maze. Is because he immediately goes to, well, I can't show him. They're gonna steal it and then make all.
He doesn't have
That's what they
nearly
say.
the
He's got
cocaine problem
nothing.
that Billy Mays
Sign
did.
non-disclosure agreements with everybody. that
R.I.P.
you
Billy
encounter.
Mays.
Your intellectual property is protected by the non-disclosure agreement, and so all the logistics of getting manufacturing and packaging, and there's a lot of bits and pieces. But you guys, TokaWorks, big player in helping me with my marketing and online presence and
it's
social
gonna be
media.
huge.
I'm stoked about that, and it's not for everybody. But as a guy that only fucking brings his pockets to carry shit, I cannot bring a huge thing to carry my weed. I put a blunt in the tube. I put like a little bit of sand or a little bit of salt in the top, something that gracefully can ash your whatever the fuck you're
For
smoking.
sure.
Yeah.
Like,
And then, so I bring my blunt. I'll smoke part of my blunt. When I'm ready to, I will ash and extinguish the flame in my mustache quickly. I will ash it back into the tube. I ash it. I stash it. And I mustache it.
for sure.
Do you think
And
a
it
traditional
holds it up like that too. It's a stand.
sized crack pipe would fit? And then I could
No,
keep,
Nikki.
No, well, actually,
The
one
crack
hitters,
rock.
like those glass one hitters, if they don't have a bubble, it's like not a mushroom head
Mm.
type bowl.
yeah.
You can stick them in that plastic part.
Yeah, all my crystal meth pipes
Dude,
wouldn't
But
fit.
no crack. Really, this no crack at all, please. I don't want to be like the
crack
crackhead's
pot.
first
Must
choice.
crack.
Every crackhead's got a
Or you
mustache.
can make a butt crack one.
Cops know that they're a crackhead
And you
because they have a
store.
mustache.
Okay, how about this? I got a great idea.
Well, nobody else uses the mustache.
The sister product to the mustache is the butt crack storage
Crack
area in
pouch.
your butt crack.
And
It's
the
like
only
some
thing that's
kind of-
sticking out
It's
is
a perfect
It's like
triangle
some
that
kind of
fits
maybe it's underwear
in your
with
cheeks.
a pouch, or I don't know. You know, I'm spitballing here, but I think it's a
I
really
got
good
something
idea.
to say serious about it. And
Okay.
I just really
Seriously,
this actually is an easy sell for anybody that smokes
any pothead is
because
which is
I
fine.
mean you're gonna use this everywhere that you don't want to ash. Like when people think about you know smoking, not everybody's like out in the open in an open field and they can just ash anywhere. What if you're in a hotel room, or what if you're in your car, like I said, or what if you're in a house
You're at
that doesn't have an
school.
ashtray?
And look
You're
at
at school.
It's the only
Doctor's
the
office.
twirling. When you twirl your mustache by opening the receptacle, when you twirl it, that's patented. Like that is. I'm the only one that has that. Nobody else has a twirlable top that's 360 degrees
God, I
around the
love
top.
that twirl.
And it's twirl the mustache.
I'm so sad it's trademarked and I can't.
Everybody
have it.
has either a pop top or like an unscrew the top kind of deal. I got the twirl.
You thought
So
outside the box.
if it's in your pocket and it's standing upright and you can twirl it in your pocket and actually take whatever's in there without employing a second hand, you don't have to employ a second hand.
Mhm.
Have you thought about doing the pitchman gimmick? 'Cause, I mean,
Now
we're not
that-
going to talk about your second product, but he does have a second product that. But it doesn't matter. The point is that I think you're turning into like a product pitch guy, right?
Billy Mays is gone, so somebody's got to fill those
David
hairy
Weingarten
shoes.
here
Really hairy shoes.
for mustache. Just got to work on the voice.
My
Mine's
favorite
perfect
product that
already.
they sold was the one that you could spray paint a boat with holes in it and then ride the boat.
Flex Seal.
I
Flex Seal, yeah.
was like,
It's
I
some
don't know, what
amazing
is
shit.
this for?
They got that guy hauling ass in a boat.
It wasn't like boat spray paint. It was for sealing stuff, and that was a demonstration.
So,
of what
anyways,
they were
be
doing.
on the lookout for Mustache, spelled just like that. Mustache. This is one of the carrying bags that comes
Spelled
free of charge.
MUSTASH.
It will launch. These guys are going to help me make this the next fucking egg
Pog.
beaters
The
or whatever
next
the next
pog.
big thing is. Yeah.
Flex Seal. Okay, that's good. Mustache, check it out.
Yeah.
It's not going,
Oh.
not right now. Maybe later.
I think it's great. I mean, anywhere you don't want to ash.
Ash.
Blunts, it's less shit to carry around. The evidence is gone when you're done. You don't have to bring back a pipe that looks like
Just a
somebody took
smelly
a shit
tube.
inside of it.
Maybe
Yeah.
if you buy my product, the butt crack, you don't need to
You
worry
could keep
about
it.
Hey,
evidence.
we're not here to listen about rival products, man. We're not like.
I love
you
the
now.
idea of the
Butt
butt
crack.
crack.
Butt crack coming soon.
Especially if it kept my butt cheeks apart so that air could like circulate. So if there could be like a little fan that circulated air through the crack as it held your belongings.
Not everybody's used to having something in their butt crack. Like girls that wear thongs, there's something in your butt crack all the time.
Yeah, but
We
it
don't
doesn't
put
keep
stuff in
your
our butt
cheeks
crack.
apart. This could be like a butt cheek separator.
Like a breathe right nasal strip working
Yeah.
in reverse.
For your
That's a whole nother product. Yeah.
My teeth just hit the microphone. All right.
So, anyways, Dave, you just
Yeah.
got back from beautiful Orlando, Florida,
Yeah, baby.
which is known as
Right on.
Human soundboard.
everybody, considers Orlando the ayahuasca capital of the world. Obviously,
Yeah.
you're living in Denver now, but you came to Orlando to do the ayahuasca church, right? What is the name of this place in Orlando?
It's called the Church of Mother Earth. Ayahuasca
Of
Church.
course it is. All right. So it's legal. It's considered an actual church by the federal government, right?
Yeah.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
They're a religious institution. Even though I'm very secular, I was bar
Now you're
mitzvah.
religious, right?
Tax exempt.
I will never be religious.
I know, but
But yeah.
you've seen some shit.
But it seems culty, kind of religious-y, like when you start breaking it down. So as somebody that's still and will never really embrace religion, it hasn't changed that.
Did you have to give up your Jewish card when you joined?
I think
The
when I
Church
got
of
my
Mother
back
Earth?
tattoo, when I got my back tattoo,
Oh,
I
they'll
kind
never
of
let you into
forfeited.
Jew heaven.
No, I can like hang out at a Jewish cemetery, but I'll never
can't
be
get
able
buried
to
there.
hang there forever.
You
Yeah.
can hang out at the pearly gates, but you ain't walking through.
It's sad. Maybe they'll only wear some pearls.
So, anyways, walk us through it. I want to go do ayahuasca in Orlando. What
Yeah.
do you do first?
Do you have to sign up for the church?
Yeah, you got to become a member of the church.
Oh
The-
shit!
the,
So you got to go through like baptisms.
No, it's more
Multiple-
of just an administrative thing.
Okay.
Become a member of the church, and
Is there a
they-
name of the religion that you're signing up for?
It's ayahuasca is
Mother Earth.
the central component, but the church is called the Church of Mother Earth Ayahuasca Church.
Oh shit!
Yeah, the guy that is responsible is Chris Young. Awesome guy, really doing some special stuff out there.
Tell them about the coupon.
So yeah, you get a Groupon.
It's a private coupon.
Oh,
I apologize.
no, I think I've seen Groupons online for the
Yeah,
ayahuasca.
you can do your
church,
searches.
right?
I'm not going to be the reason that you have a coupon.
Okay.
So what did you do? What made you want to do? Because you like emailed Law and I, and you're like, "Are you guys in?" We're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, we want to,
I
but
don't
we
want
also
to do it
have
alone.
two
It's
kids."
scary. Like when you hear about ayahuasca or any of the psychedelic spiritual retreats, it's a little bit scary because there's
Sure,
a lot of unknowns. So I didn't want to do it by myself, and I tried to get the wifey, and the wifey wasn't into it. My sister wasn't into it. Hit up you guys. Nope. So I did it all by myself. Like when I ran the 10K a couple years ago, and Law was supposed to run with me, and JB was supposed to run with me, and
JB Ball?
AJ was supposed to run with me.
Call
Yeah.
them all out by name.
I did. AJ, Dave. I mean,
Bruce.
you guys were all in. I was the only one that ended up running that 10K. So I was the only one that ended up going to the ayahuasca ceremony.
Test your friendships by seeing who will go with you to
To
run
do
a 10K on ayahuasca.
I'm down.
Really?
Really.
I don't know how
Let's
much.
blend those two things
go at
together.
the speed of light.
No, that would be a bad idea. But I like where you're headed.
because of the diarrhea.
So there
the
is no
vomiting.
diarrhea. All right. So basically, you enroll with the church and you sign up for one of these retreats and you pay for the medicine, which is a fairly comprehensive experience because not everything is grown domestic. So some of the medicine required, even though it's all organic and natural stuff, it's not really just like farm to table right here.
No, but you can, I believe, order all of it individually, the products online, like on Amazon. Did you know that?
And
I
then
d- I
play
don't-
a bathtub chemist and hope it comes out right.
Right. Like you can. I'm
well,
sure.
that's-
How much is the sign up fee?
So it was like $150, I think.
No, that's not bad.
They
Yeah.
don't call it a sign up fee because it's a church.
Yeah, it's a virtual offer plate, my friend. So no, you
There
sign
we
up for
go.
the
That's what they
church.
called it.
What's the VIG?
So you sign up for the church, you sign up for the retreat. When you go to the retreat, you stay there at the church. They have a big plot of land. It's like 4.5 acres. And you stay there. They have like big tents and fire pit. It's really cool, well laid out.
So you're sleeping in a tent?
Sleeping in the tent or out near the fire pit, wherever. It's just a
Okay.
big
So is
area.
there a pre-screening before you get there? Do you have to talk to somebody to make sure you're not?
There's waivers.
I don't know what.
There's waivers and stuff. I'm not sure about a pre-screening that they would do.
No health assessment.
I guess my question is, you go online, you fill out your name, and you pay for your
Yep.
whatever, and then you just show up,
You enroll. There's dialogue over email, preparatory dialogue,
right?
and then you sign some waivers and you show up. And there were like 30 people there when I did it.
So tell me about everything I've heard is there's really weird rules in terms of no sex for this long, don't eat this,
No
don't do that.
toothpaste.
I didn't see the no sex one, so
Really?
I may
I
have
see-
violated that. Yeah. So it was like no red
Backdoor
meat.
compliment yourself and getting laid.
That simply wasn't going to happen, the no sex part.
Yeah.
Out of the question.
When I have as many, when my wife is constantly hounding me about sex, I can't just turn.
I know, man. I hear you.
Serious problems.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, honey, don't be hounding me constantly about sex.
So there wasn't rules. There wasn't like they gave you something, right? Like that you
Yeah,
had
you
the
can't
guidelines to
red
follow.
meat, like spicy stuff. They said no chili! Exclamation point. I don't know exactly what. I
I,
guess
I know why.
assume.
That one's written by the janitor.
Yeah, and so they also didn't want you to take any SSRIs, like any of the
Yeah, that's a big one.
antidepressants or Adderall, any of that stuff, which I hadn't been taking, but it's good
Yeah.
that they spelled that out.
No, yeah, anything that changes your brain chemistry, they don't want you doing
Yeah.
that.
Now, in terms of weed, they weren't very strict on that, and I wouldn't have probably followed that anyways. 'Cause
Right.
That's part of my routine.
Right.
Anyways, so we showed up. They wanted like empty stomach contents
Mhm.
because one of the notorious things about ayahuasca is, it does induce vomiting for some people.
Right.
They had some rules. Definitely a lot of rules, but I followed as many as I could. I did smoke weed that day. Whatever. Yeah, I am who I am. You know.
That's fine.
But
Did you have to shave
who I
your
am.
entire body?
I had to wear one of those swim caps the entire time. No, no rules like that. But they did. So they put us all. They organized us. They showed us like breathing techniques, which were all like prana-based breathing techniques, to kind of prepare you for the ayahuasca experience. And then they gave us all these areas where we lied down. We had like a pillow and a blanket, and they had a bucket in case you had to purge,
Right.
throw up. And they
Doesn't
gave it-
sound bad when you say purge.
well, there's an emotional, spiritual like connection
They
with the
could-
physical.
It's all how you frame it. You know?
No, they
Purging
consider
sounds
it.
terrifying.
They
Puking
consider it.
up your evils.
until you
Yeah.
violently puke in your bucket.
Did you puke?
No, I didn't.
Well, it's
Really?
like, do you remember?
I purged.
do you know how?
No, I purged once. I did. I did the ayahuasca 3 times. So you take this ayahuasca and it comes. They were serving it in like one of those solo shot glasses. Like the
I was
little red.
picturing a ramekin glass.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't. It was. They half-assed that, I guess.
I feel like you need to just scooch over here so that people
Yeah,
don't
you're-
just keep hearing the voice of the
You're
goddess.
like the nanny and Muppet Babies. Like
I know.
we can't see you.
We're
We
just
want to
talking
see
to
you.
HAL 9000. All right. Anyways, focus.
So they give you the ayahuasca, and it was like 2 or 3 tablespoons. I went with the max,
Of course.
right?
Did they give you the option?
They did, and some people were
Like, do you want to
reducing.
trip balls? Do you want to go to space? Like, what do they tell you is each?
Some
increment?
people
He
well,
supersized it.
They really kind of assessed you based on like how
Chill you were?
big you were, and
How
You
cool
know,
you were?
I mean, I like to think, I was wearing an Indians bucket hat at the time, and if they're Indians fans,
Give
I'm not
this
sure.
guy extra.
Right.
That's what they did.
Anyways, so I took 3, and you take it and you wait. You just kind of sit there, allow everything to kind of digest, and then you see what happens.
How long do you wait?
It was maybe like an hour
Oh shit!
or longer
Sounds like a long,
for some people.
terrifying wait.
But
Usually-
ultimately, you end up kind of lying down, closing your eyes, and just
Do they tell you what to
Alright.
expect?
really they have like a lot of pictures and
Damn!
murals and other things. They
Pictures of
have.
people laying down.
If you see this guy,
Infographics.
tell me immediately.
Flow charts.
There were a lot of defibrillators.
One ads.
No,
Yeah.
So no, they had like psychedelic looking stuff, and a lot of those coincide with the visions that you get, like the same sort of color imagery. And
The panther. Did you see any panthers?
I kind of did.
Yeah, of
I
course.
kind of did.
The reason why they call it out.
It was awesome. I tell you what, man. Like there were 3 ayahuasca ceremonies that I did, 2 at night, and then 1 during the day. And the one central theme was the way the music that the way they did music. They brought in some guys from douchebag.
Sorry.
They brought in some people from South Africa and one from I think Ecuador, and they were playing this really awesome music while you were going through your experience.
Oh yeah, they know
So-
what to do.
Oh my god! So as it kicked in, they were adjusting the music to hit the highs and lows of the ayahuasca.
Oh shit.
So you had like these didgeridoos and
That's cool.
bongos and flutes, and everything was perfectly choreographed. So there were a couple times where like I didn't have these revelations, like I didn't have the same kind of powerful visions, but I had the same kind of imagery behind my eyes. It was an amazing euphoric experience, but the music would hit you at exactly the right points, and those didgeridoos, like you felt. So even if you didn't have crazy,
If you didn't have a
Revelations.
didgeridoo.
it was didgery as fuck. So no, it was awesome and a great experience. But one time I did see I saw like my dad and me, and like it was really powerful and hard to articulate, but
Yeah,
powerful and all positive, man.
that's awesome.
Really amazing.
Is your dad still with us? Is it?
He is, but we've had some issues, and I've had reservations about having kids, and it just kind of like allayed some of the concerns that I had regarding maybe moving forward with that part of my life.
Yeah.
It was powerful. I mean, I really can't describe it, but you kind of feel like layers of your brain start to just become a little less prevalent. Like, things that maybe are instinctive for you to just block out or be kind of uneasy about, they just came to the forefront, and it was really, really positive. I saw people just that they looked like they'd seen a ghost because their lives were altered. It was amazing.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, everything I've heard, it's going to change your life no matter what, because you have this basically out of body experience.
Is there a fair amount of crying involved on your end?
Yeah, well, so for me, I didn't have active crying. Like I wasn't, bawling my eyes out and making noises, but I would lie there and tears would just start streaming out of my eyes. And
Yeah.
because of the power, like I didn't puke, but just the one time, and that was the third ceremony. The other times I didn't have to, but other people next to me that took less dosage or the same were violently purging.
Yeah.
I mean, so it affected everybody. Other people were crying like uncontrollably, very loud, their bodies moving around. It was really powerful for some of these people, but in very different ways. My way was just
Was anybody having a
inactive
bad
crying.
time?
Yeah, but the next day they do these integrations where they talk about everybody's experience, their impact, their perspective, just a summation, and every single person was profoundly positive.
Yeah.
Like they say, I was up all night throwing up, purging, but every single action was directly correlated with an emotion and a breakthrough. And I mean, if I didn't see it myself, I would think it's all bullshit. But these people were profoundly affected and all positive.
Yeah. I mean, you're one of the most analytical people I know, and to hear it coming from you, at least knowing you, it's a bigger deal than to hear it from, I don't know, say Jon Paul, just because they're not. He's just a different
He's
personality
he's
type.
a simpleton.
It's
You don't
not
have
that.
much cred, my
Flow.
friend.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm just joking.
Anyways, the thing with like the psychedelics for me, it's one of those. It's gonna help you no matter what. Like this idea of a bad trip comes from just people having a shitty time because their mind isn't exactly the right way it needs to be when they're eating mushrooms or doing LSD and all that stuff. And I just kind of think that you have to, like, even if it is a bad trip, you have to sit there and experience it. Like when you have tears coming down your face and you don't know why, it's like that's not between like your conscious mind. Like your brain and the ayahuasca are having a conversation. It's like, all right, clear that shit out and then move on to the next, and it's doing work on you in a way that you don't even understand or
Yeah, dude,
realize.
I'll be real honest, man. Like, a lot of my life up until a certain point, I would back down from, significant challenges and fear and stuff just because it was uncomfortable, like that's just it's not fun to face your fear and the uncertainty and everything. But you kind of reach a point where it becomes cathartic to push through that stuff, with the way you maybe never did in the past.
Could you provide us with an example?
So, well, like the ayahuasca thing, I mean, it's powerful, and people have these really
The
extreme...
proof is in the pudding.
Well, I mean, some of us don't like pudding, but I mean, no. So it was for me. It was like, hey, here's this powerful thing. It could have really positive stuff. I'm doing this introspective phase of my life and trying to figure out what's going on. If there's an opportunity for me to have a little bit more insight into who I am or my, who I should have been or whatever, I'm going to take that opportunity, even though there's a potential negative consequence. Whatever that entails, it's worth it because it'll be constructive in the long run. That's essentially what I'm saying. I may not have taken that approach in the past because the fear is overwhelming for most of us.
Did
Was this
anybody
your
not
first quiet
I
goddess
I've
behind the
been
camera?
wanting to know
Jesus.
for so long.
Off
Did
the
anybody
camera, biatch.
not do the second and third day?
There were some people that
They're like,
refrained.
one is, I'm happy.
Well,
I'm
what
good.
they would do is they would say the following, like right after the ceremony, the next day, they'd be like, I'm not doing that. And as the day went on, it would kind of manifest itself like over and over. And then they would do it again at night. So most people ended up just changing their tune
Toughen
because
it out.
had a chance to resonate.
Was this your first out of body experience? I mean, did you feel like you left your body on another plane, another dimension sort of thing, or was it still here?
I tend to have a high tolerance for psychedelics. So I would say the day ceremony that I did, the second of the 3 days, they did it out in the woods. And so they had an area carved out where they had like these canopies to shelter you from some of the sun and leaves, and it was really like it was well done. And they had these mats that they laid out, and you basically laid down on the mats and took the ayahuasca. They brought all the music to the woods, and they played it in its perfect symphony.
It's key.
And
Music
I
is
actually
key.
saw, that's where I had
Mosquitoes?
no mosquitoes.
I'd be worried about mosquitoes.
No, it was pretty policed. There weren't a lot of insects.
Insect police.
Insect police. Yeah. And
So-
so we took the ayahuasca out there, and when that hit, that was the most powerful. And I saw some of those images, and the way that you see them is kind of hard to describe.
Right.
But it was.
But
it was
you
all
never
amazing.
had that thing where you were like separated from your body? Because I always thought ayahuasca was like, oh no, that's happening no matter what. Like the way DMT is.
Oh, you're in it. I mean, there's no escaping what's going on.
Right. There's no escape. But I mean, like this thing where it's like, oh, like I'm just not my body. Like I just left there and I was in another place, me, and my body was sitting back there.
Well,
Did you get that?
Well, so I did. Somebody was telling me that if you enjoy cannabis, like if you smoke weed, some of the imagery and visuals are a little bit buffered. I guess we don't dream as much.
Yeah.
The weed smokers.
Right.
So I
And
think
it'll
buffers
mess
it.
directly with these psychedelic sort of things. Like they tell you not to do it for a reason because it will hinder your.
Right. So maybe I didn't see some of that stuff, but what I did see was really freaking amazing, man.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Yes.
Sorry, it's hard to interject with
Just
poor
interrupt.
people. Yeah,
It's
no,
not.
I was,
Just ask
it was
our
like
producer.
10
Thank you.
minutes ago. I was just wondering about the beginning process still. I was wondering, do you like set intentions? Like, do you go in there with, things you want to work on, or just, do they actually have like an intention kind of?
Yeah, they go through like a smoke ceremony where they have a bowl with, I don't know exactly what it contains, but it's smoke is coming out of it. They put a
It's
blanket.
tobacco, I think, actually.
They put
I
a
think they
blanket
put
over
tobacco.
you, and they kind of like engulf you in the smoke.
Okay.
You set an intention. You throw like little seeds into a fire. I mean, there are components like that.
Do you say it
Are,
out loud?
like, are you afraid of the dark?
I'm not afraid of it.
No, like at the beginning of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Nickelodeon show.
When they throw the stuff and the fire fumes up
I'm not familiar with this.
with that
show.
scene.
Dave's
or-
40.
Really?
So he's
Yeah,
older than us.
I was a
40.
little bit. I guess so.
Even
You
though
probably
he
weren't
looks
scared
younger
of
than I
that show then.
But they're like, that's not a good intention.
No, do it over.
The intention is internal. It's like meditation,
You
So they
have
don't
to- you
make
have
you say
to
it out loud?
No.
That's nice.
No.
I don't know. I think they should make people say
You don't want to
it out
have to
loud.
be like, I don't want to be gay anymore, and then like,
Revealing lifelong secrets. No. So yeah.
I want to be more gay.
Hey, aim high.
I gotta-
ramp it up a bit.
So, okay. So, you're in the. Did you.
I have a question since you're clearly struggling to think of what you want to say.
Yeah.
Is there much of an aura like the next day? Like, are you just on feeling so good the next day, or you feel like shit?
No, you feel a little bit drained, from the ayahuasca because it's emotionally and physically draining. But you feel mentally clear. It was really, it resonated. And even after I got home, I was still kind of floating a little bit. And when I heard certain songs from the ceremony, it re-triggered
Oh, yeah.
some things.
When you
And
played
so-
your didgeridoo mix.
Oh, this
Oh, I've still
didgeridoo
got
mix
some songs that I'm like,
is-
nope, get it on my playlist.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
don't hear that.
They're amazing.
Not while I'm driving.
We should exit with one of the didgeridoo.
That's all it is.
Amazing.
So
Yeah,
it
those
wasn't
songs
just all
were
fun
sick.
and games.
It was fun and games, like because those are my games. Like I like psychedelic games. No, it was great.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, they did this thing called rape, which is pronounced rape but spelled rape.
Jesus.
Is that the stuff they blow in your face?
An rape.
What? Yeah, because there's a difference. It's not
Now
just
repeat-
ayahuasca.
with that.
An rapist.
You just
So-
don't drink the
well, hey.
ayahuasca. You do other things too during the
So
ceremony.
yeah,
Get
so
raped.
the rape, which I can't type because rape. Yeah, I can't find that fucking e. The rape e.
I'll
It's like an accent. E.
Unicode hex input.
I
With
did-
like an enye.
I did
Dude.
rape.
Gotta have that e or else it's rape.
think
So
it's
anyways, without that e,
Option
I'm
E.
not
She's
She's
typing
into
it.
rape.
So the rape, they
Shut the fuck up.
yeah.
Rape victim.
You're raping my thought process.
Okay.
All right. So you take this powder and you crush up this powder in your hand. And you take a tube. It's like a little ram's horn or some shit. I don't know. You take a tube or a hollowed out bison tooth, and you you scoop it up, and then they blow it up your nostril
Whoa. What?
Right up the
hard.
nose.
hard. They put one end in your nostril and blow hard.
I'd be more scared of that than
What?
doing-
And they
drinking
shove-
ayahuasca.
Yeah.
And they shove the powdery shit all up into your third eye.
Whoa. What is the? What did you ask them what that is, or you're just like?
Oh yeah, I mean it's and so they did it, and then so once they did that,
I can only imagine.
your head is all fucked up, and then you inhale to ingest it even further, and they let it sit for maybe like 30 seconds, and then they do the other nostril, and then you're just constantly inhaling, exhaling, and you're spitting out all the accumulation in your throat. And it's terrible for like, I'd say
What does it
5
taste
minutes.
like? I mean, can you
It's horrible,
describe it?
horrible. You end up blowing your nose after a few minutes, and it's all like dirt and dust.
I would love to Google
But
this.
but after the rape is done, you have this level of kind of like clarity and mental focus. It's really interesting. Things are really clear. It looks like you're wearing blue blocker sunglasses, like that kind of view.
Oh, weird.
And that's after the ayahuasca you
Yeah.
drink? That's
Yeah, you do the rape after the ayahuasca.
what's the ayahuasca
Before the
taste like?
puking.
Wait,
What does the ayahuasca taste like?
It tastes like if you took super, super concentrated espresso, like sludgy espresso, and you mixed it with rotten prunes and rotten dates and maybe some motor oil.
Yeah, there's something to that, I think. It's like
No
it smells
pain, no
like
gain.
death. Well, it smells like death. You know
What?
what ayahuasca means?
No.
Like vine of the. I wrote it down.
It is a vine.
Spirit vine corpse
Of the dead.
rope.
If you say my last name,
Really?
Germany,
That-
if you say it Germany,
in that
it's
order?
Weingarten.
Fine.
David Weingarten.
Yeah.
Yes, welcome.
Oh, Mr. Weingarten. It's good to see you again.
The rest is a podcast like this. All right. Yeah. So okay.
So I got rape.
You got
Yeah,
paid
that's
hard.
But like they didn't tell you what it was. They can't just say it's rape and then blow shit up your nose and then you're on with your
they
day.
did. I don't remember all
You
the
just didn't know.
details.
Okay.
They it's
That's one I would have been like, okay, I'm gonna.
I don't want to
look
do
that
any
up when I
lines
get
of
back.
rape while I'm there.
Right.
well, you can go online and you can look. I just don't remember. I don't have.
Okay.
Is it like a la carte? Can you be like, no rape for me, thank you?
You do not have to pay to get rape.
Really?
You can refrain from rape.
Rape.
But if you're doing it, you got to do all the shit.
No, I would say only 25% of the people did rape.
Really?
Is it just those two things? You do the ayahuasca and the rape?
I did ayahuasca and rape.
Titty
They had-
twisters?
they
Did
had,
they
like,
do any
this-
titty twisters?
It was optional. I chose,
Wet willies?
I chose not to.
Swirlies.
They had this kanbo or kembo thing from frogs. It's like a frog poison.
They put in your butt?
It didn't go in your butt, but it went on your shoulder, and like people had these burn marks. Like it looked like
God.
it had been in like a black fraternity with a
From the
brand.
poison, burn their skin.
Yeah,
Pop.
What does that do?
supposedly is another healing medicine.
I would do the frog poison,
Wow.
the burning frog poison, before I would get rape, I think.
Jesus.
So that was an extra fee. I didn't stick around for that one.
Extra fee.
It was an extra
Really?
fee.
They actually do charge a la carte for the various poisons?
For like extra ayahuasca ceremonies, and
How much is the rape?
the rape was free.
Oh, like
Of
Lenape.
course.
Yeah, it was rape was legit. Like I didn't see there's no Olivia Benson or anything from SVU that showed up. It was completely legit rape.
That's a deep pull, Olivia, but
Yeah,
nobody
I went too
knows
far
that.
on that one.
The
If you watch SVU, she's a hero.
The thing with having kids, I'm curious, and if you don't want to talk about it, you can. But,
But you're
I'm
gonna.
just curious if, like, how did that break down for? Like, what switched in your mind? Like, what did you see? What did you hear that you were
It
like?
was just like the way that the transition from like me as a little kid with my dad to like me with a
oh, so
a
it
kid.
all
It
intertwined.
just kind of, dude, I saw a fish in the tree. I was laying there and like the fish. So the one thing I gathered from this ceremony is, like I said, I'm secular. Like religion to me is just like a way to try to do good shit. I don't know.
Mhm.
But Earth, like nature, just kind of presented itself as like a higher power. It just presented itself in a way that it made sense that if you were going to worship anything or pay homage to anything, it should be nature.
Yeah.
Avatar style.
Yeah, the things you could see.
Amazing.
I mean, really.
But I saw a tree that was like the leaves were swaying in concert with the music, and there was a fish in the tree for some reason. His name was Maurice.
Were your eyes open?
His name was Maurice.
Were you like meditating, or was your eyes open?
Your eyes
or
were
something?
closed, and you were just lying
Yeah.
there and allowing it to just kind of engulf you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was rapid all day.
So you went into this wondering, are children something that I want to do?
I never like I was always resisting because I just didn't have good experience myself. You know, I don't have
Yeah.
good memories, and I just didn't. I didn't know that I could translate that to something positive. But it just kind of,
So you left the
Emerged.
experience thinking
I'm okay with it. Like it doesn't scare me. like
maybe
it
you're
did.
going to stop pulling out.
Well, it would be a planned parenthood, but I'd be contribute to
Copyright.
the planning instead of just going with the flow. You know?
Great. Now we're going to get sued. Was that something you were thinking about going in? Like, oh, I want to think about my dad. I want to think about having kids, or it
No,
just
man.
happened?
No.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Where it's like,
So just
oh, that
the
shit's
gaping.
going. That ayahuasca decided, nope. You need to figure this out here, and you're going to be better off for it. It's what blows my mind.
Well, it was
It's like
clearly
you didn't even
something
think
that was
about it.
like just never dealt with. You know, never
Right.
like materialized in anything.
Yeah, and it pulled it out of you. It's crazy.
Dude, people, I mean, they had experiences where they, like I said, they had a look on their face like they'd seen a ghost, but they had dealt with so much shit by throwing up or crying or whatever, but they all walked away happy, and it was crazy. I've never seen anything like that.
I mean, people have things that they've forgotten happened to them that traumatize them, that come up for that sort of thing, that then they are able to further deal with it just because, like I said, with the out-of-body experience stuff, it's just this thing where it's like, okay, no matter what happens here on Earth, I've always got that other side whenever that happens, after I die or whatever. And it's sort of, I love the thing about like when astronauts first go up above the atmosphere and they can actually look down on the Earth, and it's this like thing, it's like, oh man, everybody's problems in the entire world are right. I could see everything.
Yeah.
And it's just this overview effect that lets you clear things out and decide what's important from there going out, you know?
Yeah, I think any level of introspection is positive. You know, there's always the uncertainty of ayahuasca can be a little uncertain, but I think anytime you come out more constructive and a little bit more wise on the other side, it's a worthwhile experience.
Do you feel like you've gained any specific perspective, like
I don't know. I just don't think I have like all these
cobwebs?
I don't have all these apps open that are
Yes.
confusing my
That's
vision.
exactly how you describe.
Well, no, that's the Joe Rogan way of putting it, where he says it takes
Yeah.
all of your messy desktop icons and puts them all
It's
into
like
one
meditation
folder.
is similar.
My old bullshit. That's a Joe Rogan copyright, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's a perfect explanation, because it's like you then get to decide what you need to pay attention to, because it's telling you none of it's important realistically, no matter how much you think this person's opinion of you matters, or you know how you handle your kids, or what kind of person, you know, none of it really matters.
Yeah.
Because when you're dead, within 100 years, nobody's gonna give a fuck about you. Like no matter what, like unless you're Hitler or somebody in a bad way, you know, like unless you did something horrible usually. So
Yeah, people don't remember the good ones.
right, you know, person who was nice to the homeless people. Okay, Jesus. Okay, we remember him if he was real, but still, yeah, I'm a huge psychedelic proponent just because, for me, it's been huge. Like in terms of just that clear out, refresh, reset button sort of thing, and then beyond that, the out of body experience. Everybody should do that just once, whether it's DMT, shitload of mushrooms, shitload of LSD, ayahuasca.
Yeah.
You gotta leave this thing once.
I mean,
Like,
just because there's something that's not prescribed by a doctor that has like documented positive medicinal qualities doesn't mean you should dismiss it.
huge medicinal qualities.
Yeah.
I mean, especially for people near death, cancer, terminal patients, like they give them, I mean, this is an ongoing study, but it's shown like real promise where you give them LSD and they have that out of body experience, or they're able to step out and understand, okay, I might be dying, but hey, there's that other thing afterwards, you know, you can see it.
Yeah, there was a guy there that he runs an organization that helps veterans pay for treatment.
Yeah.
'Cause he knows what kind of impact it'll have.
Oh,
on
for
their lives.
PTSD, that
Yeah.
sort of thing. And I mean, it goes beyond just that. You know, there's MDMA is
Right.
something that they're looking at for that. And the thing to remember, like a lot of these like mushrooms, it's completely non-toxic. I don't know who did the report, but the mushrooms, magic mushrooms, are the safest drug you can do. Safer than weed.
Was it psilocybin or what?
Psilocybin.
Psilocybin.
Pill.
I was close.
Psilocybin.
P is
I was
silent.
close, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
I'm just trying to
Um,
wrap my head around it all. Like, yeah, like most people think about it, and the way I would think about it for a long time is like recreational partying. Like people are like, oh, you're fucking getting fucked up. But
Yeah.
no, like, shit.
That's-
Really deal with some problems, think about some stuff, and like
Go-
go into it that way with
Go
some
get blackout.
intentions.
Go get blackout drunk, and that experience overwhelming in a very different way.
Right. Yeah,
I mean,
it
that's
can,
endorsed, right?
it can have its
Exactly.
own medicinal alcohol sort of, you know, it's nice to go out and get drunk and have fun with your friends every once in a while, you know.
Yeah.
You're going to pay for it, but
And I'm like somebody like me, like control freak sometimes. Like I'm trying to like figure out what my experience would be like. But like you were saying, you went into it with totally different intentions, and you came out with a different perspective. But
Yeah.
so it's hard for me to like let go of that, being like, okay, I'm just gonna not know anything that's gonna happen to me right now. We're gonna go into it, and the right thing's gonna happen, hopefully.
Yeah, I
But it
think the
usually does.
vulnerability
Everybody
of
I've
it.
ever heard talk about it, even mushrooms and stuff, they're always like, even if they're like it was a tough time, they didn't regret it. Like they always learn something.
Nobody's ever felt like shit the next day.
No.
You always feel amazing.
What is the recommended frequency that you do go to church?
Oh, I mean, there is no recommended, like.
Oh, I just got the weirdest deja vu ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We believe you.
All right. Off camera personality.
Yeah.
We
Anyway,
believe you.
There is no recommendation. I mean, people have been going back. You know, there are a lot of people that have been there a few times, and
A couple times a year.
I don't know.
it's just
Ask me.
When
in
will
6
you
months.
When will you go again?
I'd like to go with some other people, like my
Yeah.
sister.
I'm gonna go with them.
My wife, anybody here that wants to go. Like, I think it's cool to experience that with other people that you already have rapport with. But I'll tell you what, I made a lot of friends with the people that were there that I'd never met before. So either way, it's
What kind of people?
Well, you have to be friends after they
All
see you
ages.
diarrhea yourself.
yeah.
What
no
kind
diarrhea,
of
just
people?
purging through the mouth.
But if you don't eat, why are you puking? You haven't eaten anything. What are you puking up?
you're drinking water,
just
and
picking up water.
you're supposed to eat like vegetables and fruits and stuff.
I probably do fast.
I fasted after like the first morning for like a couple days.
I wanted to ask this earlier. Is it like distracting with people puking and having their experience right next to you?
Yeah, there were
Like-
some people that were violently purging.
Is
and,
that
like,
take away from
writhing
your
and stuff.
experience?
I'm not a very good looking puker. I'd probably be one of those people. Just like, just making the worst face.
Who's a good looking puker?
don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Magnum.
you could probably make it work.
No
yeah.
such thing.
So no, my puking was it was quick to the point. Puke, get back to business.
Did you feel like it was like anybody's like bad energy was contagious? Where you're like, I gotta get away from this person?
No, I mean some people they were vocal about. You know, it's hard because this guy was writhing, puking next to me. But for me, I was just kind of. I brought one of these turtle fur like scarf things, and I put that over.
Of
my,
course you did.
I put that over my eyes, and that just kind of set me off.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
what about bringing like some
Turtle fur?
earplugs?
Turtle fur, man, when I snowboard to keep my neck warm.
Okay.
It's like a tube. It's like foreskin that was removed in a complete.
What if the dude
cylinder.
next to you, they tell you not to talk to people? The dude next to you is like, hey, like, I'm not talking to you, buddy. You look like a
Want some more of
fucking-
that rapid?
No, they tell you not to talk or touch.
Oh, really?
So like if you're a couple,
Okay,
like, don't
so
touch
yeah.
each
Guy
other.
starts running around, duck,
No
duck,
talking, no
duck.
touching.
Yeah, they think it's contagious.
Oh.
They don't
And
want to
there were
spread
some
the
people that
germ.
like midway through the trip, they'd ask you if you wanted like to boost it back up, you know, to kind of rejuvenate it. I didn't do that because I wasn't really sure what to expect, but I think next time I would do the boost.
Yeah.
Oh, they tell you not to talk? So, like, you can't be like, get away from me, demon.
Well, if you're talking to yourself or whatever
Saying the
is
N-word
happening
all day.
internal, just no cross talking with other people.
Oh, gotcha.
You can talk to yourself.
I don't want to tell on anybody, but that guy over there keeps saying the N-word and stuff.
Just yelling out loud. I'm not talking to anybody specific, but
I'm not saying it to you. I'm
I got
saying it
something
to
to say.
the Black Panther in my dreams.
Yeah, none of those people.
What if somebody just starts making you laugh the whole time? Is it a laugh riot? Like, are people having a good
No.
time?
No.
No, it's
Huh.
it's more of like a it's not light like that at all.
Yeah, see, that's
Any
the-
dancing? Like,
You
don't
wouldn't
wanna
describe
get
it
up
as
and dance?
fun.
Some people were dancing a little bit.
How long did it last?
It's like 4 hours.
Yeah,
What's
so
the-
you were
what's
supposed
the
to sit
tail
there the whole
end?
time?
You stay in. They had people monitoring just to make sure, like, if anybody was freaking out, they could tend to them or whatever.
Straight jacket.
They didn't want you to walk near the fire like by yourself, so they would kind of like guide you to the bathroom. Yeah.
Did you look at the fire while you're
Yeah, they
there?
put in
Dude.
changing color smoke stuff.
Oh
and-
shit! This
Did they,
sounds
though?
cool.
They just told you they
Yeah,
did.
really.
Any
in the
lasers?
Matrix, they did. Yeah.
Don't you see it?
Lasers.
No lasers. The music was enough, man. The music was.
See, yeah, that's the thing. Ayahuasca never seems like that fun time because, like, with mushrooms, you can eat a little bit and have fun with your friends, and it can be a laugh riot. They call it silly cybin. You know, like if you don't
Or psilocybin.
psilocybin.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's there's always that anxiety, no matter what kind of psychedelic you're doing.
Yeah.
Even though I know exactly how it's going to go, I know it's going to be fine. I know that the next day I'm going to feel great. It's like, oh shit, right?
You have to
before eat it.
release. You have to release control, though. You
Right,
have to be
of
vulnerable,
course,
which
that's
is
the
never
thing.
fun for
Right.
anybody.
And that's the whole idea. That's like everything is just being like, okay, this is gonna happen, and it does. If it
And
kills
you're
my
not
body,
going
it
to get
doesn't matter.
addicted. Like, you're not
No.
addicted to ayahuasca, right?
Right.
You're not jonesing.
Actually, it's the contrary. Like people have been there. They have testimonials of people going there and immediately their cravings for whatever they were addicted to are gone.
Oh yeah,
Like, I mean,
tobacco for sure, nicotine.
I
Amazing.
really like drinking coffee. I feel like I don't want to give it up.
What if you go there and they're like, your body's like, nah, you're quitting it.
That's interesting though.
Hate
I
coffee.
wonder if it's something like if you're a heavy cigarette smoker and you go in and you're just like, I like smoking cigarettes. I don't care about my body. Like you go in and it's like, oh, you hate cigarettes now? And you're like, oh man, what the fuck? Like I still want to smoke cigarettes.
Give me
Now
that
they
back.
taste like dog shit.
I think you have the choice. Like if I would have sat down and been like, do I need to smoke weed? Maybe I've been like, no.
Yeah.
But I decided, hey, I'm going to smoke some weed.
Yeah.
So
Good
do
for
you want
you.
to smoke cigarettes? Go keep smoking cigarettes.
Yeah. Okay.
So
All
maybe
right.
it resets your palate a little bit
Hmm.
so it doesn't taste like candy.
Reset.
Yeah, man. That's cool. I want to do it. We're gonna do it together.
Were there any people that were in the medical profession that you met while you were there?
There was a psychologist.
Yeah,
Um,
that's interesting.
yeah.
Very interesting.
He was probably the one that was affected the most. Like
Oh, shit.
Psychologist.
most purging
Not a
because maybe he
psychiatrist.
had all these people's problems. In his
Oh,
head. I don't know.
yeah.
But I talked to the guy, Chris, the guy that runs it, and because I'd only purged the one time, and I felt a little left out. I gotta tell you,
I would take it as a good thing.
there was some violent purging, and I had none of that. And I was like, am I not getting the full effects? Like, what am I missing out on with this purging? I was thinking about being like ayahuasca bulimic just to see how it, but it didn't happen. So I went to the guy and I said, is this bad that I haven't been purging? He's like, well, have you done, any therapy or introspection, anything like addressed any issues that may have like eliminated some of the problems that you have built up? And I have, and he said that's probably why the people that haven't
That's
dealt with
crazy.
things.
So
That's
every time
fucking
you're
crazy.
puking, it's like a bad thing getting out of you?
Yes,
It's like,
literally.
"Ah!"
That's what he
Get rid
said.
of your
He
baggage.
said the purging
Wow.
is almost like directly correlated
Listen to what
with
he
how
said.
much stuff needs to be.
Yeah.
Holy
Because you're
shit.
giving back, you give this back to nature essentially. Like
Oh.
once the ayahuasca comes back up, they pour it back in an area where it can be replenished into nature. So you're giving it back.
Before the days of psychologists, they needed some way to purge their badness, right?
Yeah.
Or like somebody figure it out
Oh,
for 'em.
dude, the origins of ayahuasca is mind blowing. Like that they found these two plants that if you mix them together and do this shit, like they don't even know how they came up with it. It's been around for
natural epoxy.
thousands of years, and like it's just like, oh, it's just kind of always been this way, And it's like, what? Like this weird and of course I'm coming across like a total hippie right now about it, but I am.
It sounds-
I believe it.
It
I
sounds
don't give a
weird
shit.
if you haven't explored that.
Right.
But once
No,
you
I want to know
delve in.
where it came from. Shit.
But it's like for mental health, it's just incredible that it's this like non-negotiable thing where it's like, you meet these people, it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to therapy. It's like if you don't really want to believe that you're gonna get or change or whatever, it ain't gonna happen. Ayahuasca don't give a shit. Like it's gonna do that. I mean, like with your dad and having kids, it's like you weren't going into it thinking about that, and
No, not at all.
and you're like, it's one of the first things that comes to your mind, and it's like you didn't even realize how big a deal that was hanging in the background.
Yeah, it kind of like think of it like a drain snake. Like you throw the snake down in there, and you have really no idea how
Oh,
much shit
yeah.
you're gonna pull back out from the drain.
That's a cool
I mean,
metaphor.
It could be, and you have no idea what you're
Yeah.
gonna pull back out, how much.
Uh,
It may take a few times,
yeah.
but bottom line is that's really the only way to get it. You don't want to push it back out. You want to pull it. You want to just pull it back out and see what you got, and that's what it does.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. All right. Got anything else, John Paul?
No, that was very informative. I always wondered how the whole thing went down, really. It's very interesting. So,
Yeah, man, I would highly recommend at least looking at it and seeing, but you'd be really surprised. I didn't think that stuff was possible, man.
Yeah.
It
Oh, I
was
love it.
pretty cool.
I know that like it happens a lot where people want to talk about their psychedelic stories. I'm the type of person that I'll sit there and listen to somebody tell them like, talk to me about what you're seeing. How did it go? I will sit there and listen to that shit all day. I just think it's the coolest shit because it's like out of the like coming from somewhere else. You don't think you're not thinking of this stuff, and it's like, man, where is that fucking coming from?
Yeah.
and then people with similar experiences, it's like, how the fuck is
Yeah.
that happening? Like Panthers, or like when people see the same things, like,
You see
What the
faces.
fuck is going on?
Like that's what made me really think nature is that one. That's the deity. Like that's what we should really be believing in or trusting or whatever. Because every part of nature I saw, there was some sort of face manifesting itself through that
Yeah.
vision. Like you could look at anything that was affiliated with nature or influenced by nature, and there were faces in it. It
That's
was really
interesting.
just an empowered, or not empowered, a very powerful experience across the board.
Yeah, it's interesting. You saw the faces themselves because that's like a
Yeah.
step up. It's like, eating mushrooms. You go outside, you just feel like the trees are like hanging out. Like, it's like they're moving around in the wind. It's shit that when you're sober, it's like, okay, yeah, the wind is blowing the trees. But when you're on mushrooms, you're like, man, what the fuck if they are like kind of with it? Like they kind of show that like plants do communicate, sort of thing. And like, man, who knows what kind of computer we're gonna come up with that can measure that shit? It's just like so weird.
You can
to
hear
feel
the
this
chatter of
Yeah.
trees.
Like, look at this fucking guy over there tripping his balls off. Wave your arms around some more. Freak him out.
The good thing about this is like sometimes if you're not accustomed to doing psychedelics, it's super intimidating because you don't know who to trust. Like maybe you don't have the right person around that you fully trust. Like the way that they guide everybody through the process of ayahuasca consumption, there's implicit trust, and it's well earned and well deserved.
Yeah,
It's
no,
really
see,
cool.
that's really good to hear. I've heard
How?
There's
How
lots
do you
of-
trust? How do they get you to trust a guy that you don't know?
Dude, it's just the way they handle everything and the level of empathy that's clearly evident in everything that they do. It like takes away, because if you didn't remove that fear, it would make it a really bad experience for most people, because there's that extra volatility of emotion, not knowing like once I'm under, like, do these people have my back? And you totally felt as if they have your back in every facet.
Yes.
So that was comforting.
that's important to like share with people, that it's like, okay, there's somebody I know and I trust has gone to this place and done it and seen that it's legit.
We
Where it's
didn't
like
steal your wallet.
there's all kinds of places
Yeah.
that like the shamans are fueling up chicks while they're tripping out and that sort of shit. It's like, oh my god,
Oh,
are
they
you
are?
kidding me? Is there anything like, it's pretty bad. Like people tripping on ayahuasca and then you're like molested.
You've heard of that?
Yeah,
Oh fuck!
bad shit happens.
And most
What
of the time, this
happened?
stuff's underground too. So like, I mean, you really don't know what the hell's
Right.
going on.
Yeah, and they're doing the people that where those things do happen. It's you're doing some sort of weird Craigslist ayahuasca thing.
Don't do
Like,
Craigslist ayahuasca. Really, those
Never again.
Don't combine those phrases.
Little PSA for
Yeah.
Yeah, kids.
Craigslist ayahuasca.
Anyways, all right. I think we should just wrap it up. Call it a day.
It's fun.
Mustash, Mustash, must.
Ash, stash, mustache.
Yeah.
Because seriously, you don't want to carry a purse just to carry your weed. Why not have a blunt for the night that you can reuse 4 or 5 times? It's all built into the mustache. Nobody can smell what's in your pocket. Nobody can fucking.
David Weingarten
somebody
here.
can throw you in the pool, and this thing's water resistant.
It's a must
Yeah,
for your ash.
it is a
Nobody talk. No, it's just silent.
Twirl your
Is that
mustache.
good?
Nobody
No.
talk.
Or must. It's a must for your stash.
However you want to spin that.
Okay.
However you want to spin that.
Do you want to share your website, homie?
Yeah.
If you remember it.
Tampaniac.com for all your
Tampa.
video needs. Tampaniac, Tampa with an NIAC.
I know you've had to redo that so many times.
Keeping it.
Also, check out the new Sweat Equity podcast website. I'll have to show you that.
Yeah.
It's not that good. I mean, I made it, but it's good. The website's amazing. I'm just saying there's not much to see. Yeah, Tokabaga Consulting, TOCOWORKS.com, TokaWorks.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that flew off the tongue.
Yeah.
Like MISS, ISS,
All these
API.
hard business
I
names.
got
Talk about
law
it.
fucking in my ear all the time. FreshBooks, go on there. 30-day free trial. Offer code SWEAT, like butt sweat. Anything else people want to talk about? We don't even need
Poor-
law for this
poor
shit anymore. I
FreshBooks.
think he's
Sorry, FreshBooks. I've used your
Yeah.
services. They're great.
All right.
Doesn't make me think of butt sweat.
Thank you. We're out.
Butt sweat and tears.
Nicole,
Night. Will be loud.
please stop the recorder.
I thought you wanted me to say goodbye.
Oh, just how we began it.